Awesome. Okay, I think we are good to go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Season 3, week... Is it 7 this week of D&D League? That's crazy.
7.
Wow. Feels like we just started yesterday. Hope everyone's doing well. How's everyone at the table doing tonight? How's everyone's weekend going?
We got a mystery, gang.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Well, we'll figure it out. Hopefully, or the party will be TPK'd. Who knows? One of two options.
Oh, great.
They're both fun and traumatic. So
Exactly.
Could be fun. Could be fun.
Okay, team, I'm going to go through a couple of CMSA announcements before we go ahead and do a recap and then get started. So I'm just going to fly through these. Okay, so first off, CMSA has partnered with Hope for the Day to provide mental health awareness training for our leadership team, which reflects CMSA eSports. Yes. So this reflects CMSA eSports' ongoing commitment to the mental health and well-being of our community. So as a result, players and members of our community can access a variety of resources in the resources channel on the Discord. You can also find resources on our website at cmsaesports.com/resources. So these include things like crisis hotlines, therapy options, and the what's known as the resource compass, which is for finding local programs on food, housing, health, and more. So all those resources are available to our community. Please use them. Perfect. Cool. Okay, and then the other big announcement we have is that we are going to be having our in real life in-person hangout rescheduled from September. It's going to be at the North End in North Halstead here in Chicago. This is going to be on Friday, October 4th at 7:30 p.m. We're going to have free pizza. We'll obviously, like always, have the opportunity to chat. We'll be able to visit. We'll have some giveaways. And I actually just started reading the 2024 Players Handbook, and I think there's a rule in there that says be there or be square. So them's the rules. So you have to be there, or
is that what all the
square.
controversy was about?
Yeah, it was. That's my recollection. Yeah. So I mean, and it is a big deal, you know. I mean, I can see where all the
Nobody wants to be
vitriol
square.
is coming from. Absolutely. Cool. So that's what we got. Team, I think that's it. Last little bit is we're just gonna cut out a little bit early tonight because I have something going on tonight that I have to be at, unfortunately. So we're just gonna launch into it and get started with D&D. Then, are we good to go, team?
Yeah.
Amazing. Seth, would you do us the honors of recapping what happened last week?
Yeah. We started at the bar where we ended last time, crashed for the night, and then we were going to go check out either Filet-O or Vallejo or Filet-O Keep, like Filet-O-Fish, but we got stopped on our way by an adorable urchin. The adorable urchin told us that a group of Flan protectors wanted to talk to us because of all the great investigating everybody was doing in the mountains. There was some like mutual interest there, and then when we got to the spot where we were supposed to talk to them, we got ambushed, and who saw it coming? Me. So then we beat them, obviously, and continued our merry way to the keep, and then found out that it's actually the seat of government for Flan. And they wouldn't let us in to look for a pool of radiance until we got the proper paperwork. So then we went back to the library, talked to the Lord Sage about getting the paperwork for the keep, and he said that was going to take a few days. But we also split the party a little bit and was doing some like investigation and eavesdropping, and we found out that the third infiltrator in the library was potentially still working there, had not been discovered yet, and that his initials matched the initials on a note that we found on the bodies of the thieves who jumped us earlier in the day. And this guy apparently worked in the archives, this like creepy underground part of the library system. So we ended with a long rest down in the archives, getting ready to set kind of an ambush for this guy as he comes in for the late shift.
Amazing. Perfect. So yeah, so that's where we find the party. You have all settled in for the night. Does anyone want to do anything before you actually go to bed proper? Discussions or anything?
Should I long rest?
Yes. Yeah, you will
Okay.
be. Yep. So, hearing nothing, you all hunker down for the night. take turns taking watch, but eventually you all get your allotted 8 hours of sleep, generally. Your rest, and I mean, not much happens overnight. It's you are in this incredibly dark, cavernous building that is, for the most part, untouched, or has been untouched for years, except for a couple of employees of the library who come down here and there to tend to the archives, or conduct business that is needed down here, rare that it may be. You become accustomed to the quiet, aside from a couple of outbursts of snoring here and there, and fully expecting to spring awake at the sound of this third individual who was hired at the library at about the same time as these other two undercover agents. And around the time that this third individual is supposed to be showing up for his shift, you begin to hear footsteps coming down the steps leading to the archive. The footsteps are getting closer and closer. What do you do?
Shout out, who goes there?
Oh, God.
And as you do, you hear this...
Did you miss me?
You
Oh
hear this female voice cry out, who's there? You hear kind of like a, what sounds like probably a lantern had fallen to the ground, and you hear glass shattering. Fortunately, this individual has had a backup light source. She lights it, and she starts coming down the rest of the stairs, very clearly much warier than before. And she says, who goes there?
Josh.
Josh, did you sign in? Are you an employee?
I'm here for Lord Sage.
The Lord Sage? And as you say that, you hear her voice not become kind of more trusting of you, or that she's letting her guard down. But she's the fact that you are using the Lord Sage's name as kind of like the authority for your being down here, kind of like leads her to believe that maybe there's additional investigation that needs to be happening. So she continues walking down the steps, and eventually you see the full body, the full figure of this elven woman in the kind of typical robes of the archivists and other librarians that you've seen here in the library. Clearly not who you were expecting to show up at this time. And she says, the Lord Sage sent you. What business do you have down here? This is typically reserved for archivists and archivists only.
Out of character, what lie did we tell him again? Because I don't think we told him we were trying to ambush the guy. We said, like, we just wanted to do something.
We were looking for something?
We're investigating for clues.
For clues.
Yeah, we're just investigating for clues. Clues, TM.
Is that what you tell her?
I could be asking you the same question. We're allowed to be here. Who are you?
I'm the clerk, who's supposed to allow people in.
The clerk?
Yes, the clerk of the archive, or at least the
What's your
who's
name?
on duty right now. My name's Elthiel.
I never heard that name.
Well, I'm one of many archivists here at the library. I can't say that I've heard any well, the fact that any of you are supposed to be down here, even though you claim to be here on the authority of the Lord Sage, what
if you're
clues are
the-
you looking for?
Hey, if you're the clerk, what are you doing coming down into the archive? Shouldn't you stay up at the desk?
Well, I came down here to check because, you see, a couple of people came down yesterday. They said that they were looking for something down here. I haven't heard from them yet. They said that they were going to be down here for quite some time. And so I came down to check to make sure that they're okay.
Who were these people?
It wasn't us.
No, it was, well, when did you get here?
A normal
Last-
amount of time ago.
Last night.
Last night. Yeah, these two individuals came here during my last
two
shift.
individuals.
Yes, yeah, two individuals came during my last shift, which ended around yesterday afternoon, so I suppose that's why our paths never crossed. Name's Althiel again. But yeah, one of them was a newer individual here at the library, a male, and then the other one was another archivist, actually a very of high authority here, named Garda. He's actually a very important scribe here at the library. And they said they told me that they were coming down and they had something to look for. Or well, the newer individual. I didn't quite catch his name, but I think he worked here. But I guess he was showing up a little earlier than what his shift was, because he had said that he had a book or something that he was looking for, and that Garda knew.
So
how
you don't think that's suspicious?
suspicious. I mean, no, these are.
You don't actually. You're just assuming this person works at the library.
Well, no, I've seen him here before. I've checked him in, but I just don't know his. I don't recall his name off the top of my head. Because he's newer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was. He came down here. He said something along the lines of wanting to find a book or something, and Garda knew where it was, I think, or had an idea of where this was. So they decided to go looking for it. I'm sorry, Garda had a general idea in the archive of where it was, but that it would take some time to probably find it. So they came down early. They said it was going to take some time to find it, but I haven't heard from them since.
Here right now?
As far as I know, I haven't heard of them coming back out. They didn't check out upstairs.
Can I do an
think-
insight
Yeah.
check just
Bug,
to
give me
see
an
if
insight check.
it
Yeah.
seems honest? $12.
12. Yeah, you don't think you discern anything suspicious about her.
Auntie is gonna put a hand on her shoulder and just kind of decide to trust her in this minute, because we already lost the advantage we thought we had. So I'm just gonna lean in real close and say, "My dear, I don't mean to alarm you, but there's a very good chance that your friend Garda is either injured or dead somewhere in the archives. The man who was down here with him was operating under very ulterior motives. So I need for you to point us in the direction you think we would go to find them, and then I need you to run back up those little stairs and get any kind of security people you can down here."
Oh, okay. Wow. Security. We don't have much security here. I'll find someone. The archives are vast. I don't know. I mean, just start.
Did they
looking
say
around.
anything about the kind of information they're looking for? Any direction we can go, like a reference, a section?
I think they were looking in the memoirs section, or something along those lines. History of individuals. I think. I think that would be in that direction. And she points forward, and it's kind of hard to discern considering how dark it is here in the archives. But she points kind of like off in the direction. You can see there's like a long hallway that goes down, and that's you can see that the light of her lantern kind of reaches as far as to the end of the shelves on either side of you, and you can see that just past that there are kind of like several branching pathways that you can go down in the archives here.
So I
Now-
would like to. Oop, go ahead, Tal.
No, go ahead. I-
Knowing that, before we like move on to doing anything else, I'll just like start sending Mavis in the direction she pointed, because he has or she has 120 feet of dark vision, so she'll just be out there like scouting for me while we're wrapping up.
Perfect. Yeah, she flutters out and starts. It's going to be a couple minutes probably before Mavis comes back. Bug, what were you going to do?
Bug was just gonna say, ma'am, is there a map of this archive?
I'm sure I can bring one down to you. I'll run upstairs. I'll go get someone to come down to help, or to help guide you, I suppose, and I'll look for a map as well. But if Guard is in danger, I don't think I can. Someone has to hear about this.
Do we want to, like, maybe go up with her, check to see if we can find this guy's name, find a map, maybe get some backup before we go off, or...
Just double. If someone wants to double check, just like if there's any other way out of the archives, because like Auntie doesn't care about Garda's life that much. I'm just kind of using that as an incentive to like keep things moving. But like, I'm down to go upstairs as long as we know that like this is the one entrance and exit, and there's no way they could have like exited somewhere else.
I feel like there's a secret exit.
Is that so, Joshua?
Yes. It is so, Auntie.
Well, I can assure you that there's. I mean, the archives are vast, but we tend to keep our secrets very safe and close to ourselves, and so we, in order to facilitate that, there, as far as I know, there are no exits out of the archives other than this entryway here.
Is there a logbook of the people who enter and exit? You said you couldn't remember this guy's name off the top of your head. Can we go check to find out who it is?
Yes, it's upstairs. I keep the book right on the desk for anyone who checks into the archives for their work shifts or otherwise.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to go just up the stairs and check that.
Yes, yeah, let's go now.
Okay.
If someone's in danger, we have to go. We have to go. She starts bolting up the stairs, kind of like slipping on a couple of the steps, but she regains her footing and she starts making her way up the steps back into the main library.
I might just wait here at the bottom of the steps. Not really that eager to go up and down these a couple times. Might just have a little sit down. Let Mavis keep exploring.
Mavis, you are continuing to talk as the rest of the group is just kind of like leaving you behind to finish your sentence.
No, it's all right. You go upstairs. I'll be fine.
Althea makes it upstairs first, and she walks around the clerk's desk, which is kind of how do I describe it? The side of the desk is pushed up against basically the door frame of this entrance to the archives. So she goes around the desk and sits down at it, and she starts flipping through a couple of the pages in the logbook that describes who has entered the archives. And she points to it and she says, okay, let's see. Here we go. Yesterday at about noon-ish, let's see. Garda entered. That's Garda Greenleaf. And then there is, what is his name? That's right. Ellison, I think. Ellison Berenger was the other individual who showed up yesterday. But they've been down there since. It doesn't say in here that they've checked out at all.
Okay. Do you have a map here as well?
Let's see. She starts flipping through the kind of like papers on her desk, and she sees that there is kind of like an old faded map at the bottom of one of the drawers in this desk. It sees virtually no usage because no one goes as deep into the archives as would require a map. At least none of the archivists do, and obviously the public isn't allowed in. She pulls it out. It's just this dusty piece of parchment that is a map of the archives. She says, if I had to guess, the memoir historical figures section of the archives right about here. And she circles a piece of the map. It is a piece of the map that is in kind of like the northeastern section of the archives.
All right. Are you guys hoping to wait for backup, or you just want to head down there?
Let's go.
I'll go find someone in the meantime.
Let's go.
And she kind of like scutters away in the hopes of finding someone to provide some assistance. Meanwhile, the rest of you make your way back down the steps, where you find Auntie again waiting at the bottom. I'm assuming.
Long enough.
What do you do when you get back down there?
I think Josh is like seeing that everyone is making these like looks at each other, like they're like they know what's going on, and he's confused. So he's gonna say, "So what's up? What's the plan? Who is this Ellison Behringer?"
It was him.
Yes.
We may have
The
left this out of the recap. We had found a note signed by someone with the initial B, and they had ordered the ambush to attack us.
Bug is gonna pull up the note, and considering Josh's problems with memories, is just gonna read it aloud again. Yeah, we found this on the body of one of the people who ambushed us. It says, "Just get it done, Suarez. If they find me, then the last 4 months have been a total waste. Ensure that the Whisperer's faith in us was not ill-placed. B."
Oh, yeah, I totally remember
And
that.
yeah, I know you do, buddy. Pats him on the
Thanks.
shoulder. So we're thinking that this Allison Behringer, who's been being real shady, is probably the guy who sent those people to ambush us.
So we should definitely go find him right now.
Nicely.
Okay.
That's a great idea, Josh.
As you're having this discussion, you begin to hear footsteps coming down the stairway, and she says, "Oh, wait! I'm coming! I hear that someone's in danger." And you turn around, and you see that it is Castra from of Blue Ink fame from upstairs. She is coming down the stairs. And she says, "Oh, you? Okay. Well, this is good. I'm glad I'm happy to find the best team on the job. Sounds
Girl,
like
I missed you.
oh, I missed you all too. It's been such a joy every time I get to see y'all's faces. It does sound like Garda's in danger apparently, and so if we're done dawdling here, perhaps we could go save this employee, co-worker, very important individual, influential person here at the archives and the library. We're still standing here. We'll just, okay, let's go.
Amazing. Yeah.
So you turn and you start making your way down hallways, additional staircases, through passageways and storage rooms. You can see that Casra is moving with this incredibly definite purpose, descending staircase after staircase. She holds a lamp over her head, and finally she approaches the spot in the library that has been circled by Elthiel upstairs, and she says, as far as we understand, this is the spot. You smell kind of like the stagnant air of this part of the library. And she walks through the kind of like border that delineates this portion of the archives as the historical figures section. And you can see that just this section of the archives is gargantuan. It's incredibly vast. And for a brief moment, you all are overtaken with this sense of just a complete and utter awe, and not quite hopelessness, but just like the realization of how difficult this attempt to find this individual might be if this section alone is as vast as it is. Casra, apparently understanding the size of the archives and expecting how vast this section was, continues forward, essentially unperturbed. And you all begin searching this vast section of the archives in the hopes of finding some trace that might lead you to the individuals you're seeking. Why doesn't everyone give me an investigation check, please? As you are conducting your search.
Ooh, dirty 20.
12.
17.
2.
All right, so
Tim.
the search goes
Ah,
on.
Tim.
So the search goes on for quite a bit longer, I think, than you were anticipating. Just over an hour, you have been entering and exiting various rooms here in this portion of the archives, going down what seems to be endless and numerous shelves just packed full of dusty tomes, leather-bound books, and wrapped up scrolls and parchments. You make your way just sweeping through the archives until eventually your search, Auntie and Bug, you are kind of like up at the front of the group, kind of leading the charge for this portion of the search. And your search has led you to a small room tucked away in a distant corner of the vast archives. And despite the room's size, it's no less cramped than the rest of the archives, packed tightly with shelves that are packed near to bursting with books, scrolls, and other works. Eventually, Casra kind of catches up to you, just as urgent as she was when the search began. And rounding a shelf on the far side of the room, you see a small reading table. The dark shape of a body is slumped over it, and as Casra sees it, she yells out, "Gods, save us!" She gasps, and she runs into a corner and begins to retch violently. What do you do?
I'm gonna go take a look at this body.
Auntie, you approach. You can see that this individual is a male human. He's wearing a plain set of gray homespun robes, and you can see that he's lying face down in a small pool of alarmingly fresh blood. His hand is loosely holding a quill, the tip of which is stained with a bright blue ink. You see thin rivulets of dark blood are running from his ears, standing in stark contrast to the pale flesh of his lifeless face, and you can see that there are books scattered everywhere.
Would I know? Is there something I can do to find out like what would cause injuries like that? Like the blood coming out of the ears feels unusual.
Yeah, give me a medicine check, please.
That is 18.
You take a closer look at the head of this individual, and on top of the blood that is coming out of his ears, you see that there is kind of this very large wound on the back of his head, a sore on the back of his head, or a knot, essentially. You can see that what this reveals to you is that this individual died from a single blow to the back of his head. And as you, you said he got an 18? Okay, with an 18, upon closer inspection, you can tell me how you know this. I don't know where you would have learned this, but just looking at this individual, you can tell that he was killed approximately less than 2 hours ago. Very fresh.
Listen, Auntie's out in the woods for a reason. She's focuses on magic that is not exactly approved of in most larger settings. So I think she's very familiar with those boundaries around life and death, and yes, just kind of like poking the wounds a little bit, holding little bits of blood up to my eyes and going, 2 hours. This man was killed 2 hours ago by a single blunt force injury to the back of his head.
I'm gonna turn to Kasra and sort of hesitantly ask her, "Do you recognize this man?"
She stands up away from the corner. She wipes her face off and she says, "That would be Garda. Yeah, that would be him."
Star, DM, I do have one little ask.
Yes.
Because for whatever reason, in the 2014 rules, Speak with Dead cannot be learned by wizards. It's only like clerics and like one other weird thing. In the 2024 rules, wizards can also learn Speak with Dead.
Unfortunately, I'm going to say no, because we were specifically told to abide by the 2014 rules, and also it's easier for me as DM.
If I don't reanimate the corpse of this dead guy and just ask him all the questions?
Hey, you do you, you know?
All right. Can't blame me for trying.
And I have it on the list, but I didn't prepare it, so.
Oh,
let's all take a nap, you know?
Right. Anybody want a short rest all of a sudden for no particular reason?
Josh is gonna walk up to the body and kind of like poke the head, and it just like moves, and he's like, "Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
That guy's like really dead."
Yeah, okay, Josh, you approach, you kind of have this like morbid fascination apparently with this body. You poke the head, it kind of like flops over, and as you're looking it over, you actually notice that there was it looks to be like there is a leather thong on his belt that has been cut. You try to like take a closer You try to take a closer look at it, and you notice that as you're turning around, trying to like get your bearings and everything, you see that Kasra actually has a similar device on her belt, and you can see that there are there's a ring of keys that are attached to this device.
So, Kasra,
Yeah.
my beautiful Kasra. where'd you get those keys? Does like everyone who works here have those?
Yes, yeah, only the, kind of the higher-ups of the archivists, do. Yeah, why?
So, his are missing.
The realization hits her. It's clear on her face, and she says, well, looks like our killer now has access to things within the library that he shouldn't.
What things?
Everything. Just knowledge that has been locked away, that shouldn't be known to the public. Passageways in the archives that are forbidden to anyone but high-level scribes.
Can you take us to those passageways?
I suppose we could start. Yes.
Had you also said he was writing a letter? Did we see he was writing something, or did you say there was a scrap of paper or something? Maybe
Yeah.
I made that up.
Yeah, Tim, you see that. So he doesn't. It doesn't look like he was writing too much. It looks like you take a closer look at the piece of parchment, and it looks like they were. Let me take a step back. Before you get to the parchment, you see that there are several books on the table beside the body. You see 2 small red leather books, and you see 1 large white leather book. Tim, you take a closer look at the books. You see that the 2 red books, one of which is currently closed, and you see that it is a memoir of Renna the Blade. And in fact, this memoir is the very book you discern that was stolen from Martin Foss. It is closed. The other book is currently open. You see that it is also it's another memoir of Renna the Blade. Give me an investigation check to see if you're able to discern kind of like what the messy writing on the parchment might have to deal with.
19.
19. Okay, with the 19, you can see that there are in addition to on the parchment, just kind of like general directions for where to find these books here in the archives. You can see a couple of common denominators that have been written down on these pieces of paper. You can see that there have been a couple of page numbers that have been written down on the paper on the piece of parchment. You take a look at the open book on the table, and you flip to one of these pages that has been written down on the parchment. Probably a note that Garda was writing or keeping for Ellison, just to like remember kind of what pieces of information or important pages that Ellison might want to remember for the future. So it looks like he was just taking notes on the important pieces of information that Ellison might want. At any rate, you turn to one of these pages, you see that the page has been carefully excised from the book with what must have been a very sharp knife. So we'll come back to that. So those are the 2 red books. You also take a look at the white leather book, and you can see that this book is entitled The Weave, a practical observation of impractical occurrences. And it's clear to you that this was the book that was stolen from Aya Glenmere. It's obviously also next to the body, and you also notice that a couple of pages have been pulled from this book as well.
If I see Tim looking at all these books, I probably would just kind of walk over and, like, since I wasn't there, I would ask, what exactly did you all find in that little mountain temple before you came to my cottage? What was going on there?
We would. I guess we
A
maybe would
bad
talk about-
guy.
It's about the cult of the dragons.
He was like spitting fire and shit.
Is there any way, knowing what the focus of the ritual in the mountain was, that we could look at, like, because these pages have been like carefully removed from the books, but could we look at like the page that's left before and the page that's left after and like take any context from that as far as like what the subject of that missing page could have been?
Give me an investigation check with advantage, please.
Okay. First one's a 7. Second one's a dirty 20.
Amazing. Okay. So based on the entries before and after the page that was removed, we see a return of the mysterious, kind of like rumored place of significance, apparently, below Vallejo Keep. The Pool of Radiance. Just based upon the pages before and after, you can kind of discern that the Pool of Radiance was this magical phenomena caused by a small breach in the weave. And it is the source of all magic in Faerun. And so it's very clear to you that Ellison, or whoever was down here with Garda, has excised the pages that specifically dealt with the chapters on the Pool of Radiance, or the pages on the Pool of Radiance. So it's clearer to you now that that is exactly what they're looking for. So what do you do after you learn about this information, Auntie?
No. So much space in this blasted archive. He could still be down here. But if we waste a bunch of time looking, it's possible he's already made his escape and headed for Vallejo Keep, and then we might be arriving too late to stop whatever it is they're attempting to instigate. I don't know.
After
I
you
don't know
say
what
that,
to do.
Casper walks up and she says, what's the significance of Vallejo Keep?
The Pool of Radiance, young lady.
A
very substantial magical phenomenon that exists underneath it that it
It's
appears
real?
this man is trying to access.
Duh.
It's real? She gasps, and before she can say anything else, this ear-splitting sound appears. It seems to appear out of nowhere, and the ground-shaking noise shatters the silence of the archives, and the sound of collapsing brick, mortar, and bookshelves fills the wake as it fades away. All around you, the shelves and books begin to fall. What do you do?
Josh is gonna be like, dude, Auntie, what'd you do?
She says, "It wasn't me, you idiots, run!" And she turns and she starts running. I need everyone to please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Hey. Great.
I got 18.
I got a natural 1!
21.
And then, Bug, what did you get? I'm sorry?
A 13.
13? Okay. Well, I don't remember.
I'm so agile.
I think everyone except Auntie has.
I got a natural 1, but I am prepared to do
Old
magic about
lady.
it.
Okay, all right. So, Auntie, you're going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage from the falling books.
Okay. That's fine.
Can I get a sense of like where this came from? Like, does it sound like someone like pushed over a shelf? Like,
Yeah. So, you are kind of, as you were all running, you're looking back and forth, Bug, trying to discern what it is that's happening. The books are continuing to fall all around you. Shelves are crashing to the ground. You hear Kasra letting out a yelp of pain for a brief second, but she continues along, and eventually you make your way to the kind of like the edge of this room, and the echoing kind of cacophony of crashing books eventually begins to subside. You see that Kasra is pretty injured at this point. You take a look at her arm, and it's very clearly broken, and she's kind of like seething in pain at the moment. But Bug, you are trying to get a better understanding of what it is that just happened. Why don't you give me an investigation check, I guess. Yeah, just to see if you are able to discern kind of what might have caused this or what.
That is a 7.
A 7. Yeah, you're not quite sure. All you know is that immediately prior to everything falling is that you heard this ear-splitting boom or noise or what have you right before everything happened. But you don't know what the source of it was or anything in that regard. But that's what you heard right before this happened.
Can Josh try to discern?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna grab Cassida's arm a little too hard and
Ow!
cast the first level Cure Wounds.
Okay, she so narrate or describe to me how you assist her, what happens.
I think Auntie is just so used to working with dead things that she's not really thinking about how much that's gonna hurt. So she's just kind of roughly grabs it and like. It's like in that moment where the pain spikes in her, there's an immediate rush afterwards of just like a feeling of like cooling numbness going up the limb, and then it is all tingly, and then that feeling fades away, and it's just like, arm is back to normal.
She looks up at you, Auntie, and she says, okay, for a brief moment, you were a real ass. Just a real ass. But,
Sometimes it hurts to take your medicine.
That's fine. Thank you, I guess. Josh, what did you roll?
Nat 20.
Nat 20, nice. Okay, you know that there is some sort, so you heard this massive boom. You know that there was given the amount of commotion, given what happened after you heard the boom, and the fact that you there was no fire or smoke, it wasn't like a bomb or anything. You discerned that there was some sort of magical cause to this. It wasn't an explosion. It was some sort of magical spell or effect that caused these bookshelves to collapse all of a sudden, simultaneously. Cool.
Could I do some kind of, if Josh relays that to the group, could I do an Arcana check to figure out if that was like if that was basically like a magical bomb that had been planted that just like triggered after a certain amount of time, or if somebody had to like physically be here to have done that in that moment?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check, please.
Yes.
I think Josh's way of relaying this to the group is that he like swings around his lute from his back, strapped on there. He starts playing like this ballad, and he's like, "It always comes back to the magic. It was magic."
Okay,
Beautiful.
well, because of that poor delivery, I only rolled an 11.
Yeah, Auntie, you can't quite tell. I mean, you were so distracted that you didn't get the opportunity to kind of like really concentrate to figure out what the source of this or how this magical ability might have come about. So you're not sure.
It was a very nice song, dear. It was just not very informative.
Well, thanks, I guess.
Kasra says, this is great and all. I think maybe it might be best if you four take over from here. I mean, you're clearly the adventurers with the experience of dealing with a madman like this. I think I'm gonna go head back upstairs and go find the Lord Sage and provide an update on what's happening, if that works. I just don't know that I'm quite the type of person who needs to be down here under the circumstances. Does that work?
Do we want the Lord Sage to know about this? How much do we trust him?
Oh.
I don't know if there's any way to relay that to her without it coming across very sketch.
Fair enough.
Counselor, I would love if you stayed with us. I feel like you're so helpful to this group. Like, you bring the fun after me. Obviously, I bring the most fun, but like, you're like second place for bringing the fun.
I just had my arm broken. I really
Yeah,
don't
but
wanna
it's
be
like
down
cured,
here.
right?
Well,
Like, you're okay now.
After lots of pain, which I'm grateful for the help you gave me, but also please don't make her heal me again.
You big baby.
I
Not even that
won't
big.
make you do anything, but you could just like not get hurt again, and then you won't have to get healed again.
That's why I'm going upstairs.
Okay.
Tell you what, come find me after this. I want to debrief, because I am invested, despite my abandoning you at this point. I am invested. Don't get me wrong, but let's just say I value my life more than I value learning the outcome to this in real time. Does that make sense?
Of course, dear. Maybe we'll be able to come give you a debrief, and maybe the entire city and possibly the world as we know it will be annihilated in giant burst of magic. You know, kind of big stakes here, but yeah, if you just want to get like the gossip afterwards, that's totally fine.
Always comes back to the magic.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
that
can we
was.
have your keys?
Oh,
I want to prestidigitation a little fire and be waving it back and forth as Josh is singing.
she sees this, and you can clearly see that her hand goes back to her pocket, or the device holding the keys, and she sees this scene of this kind of like older humanoid with this prestidigitation, Josh in front of her singing the song, the other two just kind of like standing there watching this happening, and she's like, I don't know. You can very clearly see that she is having second thoughts about providing you with this much authority. But she takes her keys and she hands it to you, and she says, as long, if I can help in any way to not have the city fall into oblivion by magical means, and I get to learn the hot goss afterwards, then so be it.
Oh,
So be
bro, we will give you all the tea.
I love it. I cannot wait. We'll have a little wine night.
Yes.
Perfect.
Around
Okay.
a campfire.
Well, I was thinking like in my office, because I've got a lot of work to do.
Be
And
in
especially,
the
I'm going to have so
sand.
much more paperwork after
The
this.
waves rolling around.
Okay.
You can hear nature. Like,
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds great, I guess. Cool. Okay. Okay. I have got to go make a police report. I've got to go tell the Lord Sage about all of the destruction. And hopefully you all survive.
Best of
bye.
luck to you.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Yes, go make a police report. They're
Okay.
gonna be so helpful.
Okay, thanks. She says, hey, for what it's worth. She begins to walk away, and then she turns around. She says, for what it's worth, you're like my second favorite adventuring party I've encountered in the last couple months. I really do hope you all survive. She turns around and
Second?
starts making her way back up the stairs.
Hold on a second, motherfucker. I'm gonna burn this whole library to the ground. Second, who was first? Tell me. No, I don't do it.
So she makes her way back towards the entrance to this vast archives to provide her report to the Lord Sage, and to the rest of the library, probably to Aelid Burl, of the Knight's Fist, providing an update of what's been going on. With her gone, what do you all do?
Do we like know where we're going?
We have a map, so I feel like we could find where there are like places where there's like these
Take us
keys would
there,
be-
bug.
Bug is like squinting at this old map. And yeah, I mean, are there like little keys printed on the map where there's like the keys are necessary to get in places?
Yeah, you can see that there is. I mean, there's like a little legend on the side of the map, and you can see that one of the little symbols says like it's a little key, and it says "for archivists' eyes only," and so you discern maybe going that way is probably the way to go. You start following the map towards that section of the archives. In order to do so, you're kind of climbing over fallen books, destroyed shelves, ruined parchments. But eventually you make your way over the mound of this just desecrated information. And you find yourselves in the portion of the archives where this kind of like secluded area is. You take one of the keys, or the key ring. You start trying several of the keys in a what you see is a locked door, kind of down one of the shell. What do you call it? Not a pathway. The shelving
Stacks.
Thank you. You make your way down one of the stacks. You find at the end of the stack this large door. You start trying some of the keys because you notice that the door is locked, but eventually, after like 3 or 4 different keys, you find the one that unlocks this door, and you open it up, and you find inside another incredibly vast chamber, and you are just kind of overtaken with, I don't know if it's frustration or helplessness or what, take your pick. But you start making your way in, and you can see...
Can I, sorry, before we go in, can I do like a investigation on the door to see if was it like rusty or dusty, or like, is there a sign that someone's been here recently?
Yes, it was dusty. You can see that, however, as you went to open the door, you can see that the dust on the doorknob had been disturbed. So clearly, the door had been opened and then reclosed, presumably with the help of the keys that were taken by this individual from Garda. You walk into this...
Are there any like footprints on the ground from like dust?
Yeah, you can see that there's you can see kind of like footprints making their way through the stacks of this portion of the library. Eventually the dust begins to kind of recede a little bit, and you can see that the footprints are a little harder to discern, but you can see that it leads to another section of the archives. Lots of just various types of, various rooms filled with different types of other books or parchments or whatever. Each room a different subject. And actually, as you walk past by one of the rooms, you can see that there is something odd about one of the rooms. You don't see the footsteps there, but what does catch, because the dust is kind of gone, it's hard to discern the footsteps anymore. But what you do see is that in the middle of one of these rooms, as you're passing by, is an incredibly large black spot in the center of the room. Do you go inside?
Heck yeah. I'm gonna poke my head in, and when you say black spot, is this like burnt? Or
Yeah.
like inky?
You
Okay.
see, okay, so you see, it's a very, very large room. It is littered with the ruined remains of bookshelves. You see desks, other furniture. Yeah, the middle of the room is barren except for this blackened spot with the soot of century-old flames. You can see that there are charred bones strewn about. And actually, as you take a closer look, on the far wall, there appears to be a huge hole that appears to have been blasted into the wall. The ground is littered with bricks and debris next to the hole in the wall. What do you do?
Mavis, go through that hole and check things out.
Mavis flies through the room, goes through the hole. And as Mavis does so, you begin to notice a couple of kind of shimmering spots in various places of the room. And you see a couple of what appear to be humanoid figures begin to appear. Ghostly images of humans, and I need everyone to please roll for initiative.
I have not yet gotten the little
Sorry.
prompt.
Give me just a
Okay,
quick
cool.
second. Okay, you should be good now, hopefully.
Tim.
Oh goodness. Tim and Auntie.
Killing it.
All right, Josh, you are first up.
And
You-
me. We both.
Wait, did I miss something? I'm sorry.
Tim
They
and I
just
both
both
got
got
down
Oh,
ones.
yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah. Okay, why?
New crew.
I'm not sure why it's doing that. Hopefully it's working. Okay, you see these three ghostly figures appear after Mavis flies through the room. Josh, you are up first. You see these three ghostly figures appear out of nowhere. Clearly, they look incredibly angry that you have decided to disturb their what was supposed to be indefinite slumber in the afterlife. But here they are awake. What do you do?
So when you say ghostly, like, are they ghosts?
Yeah.
Like,
You know them to be
did we?
specifically. You know them to be banshees. Just you're well versed enough to know what type of
So
undead
like,
creature.
can they be stabbed?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Josh is gonna go towards this one and stab it.
Amazing.
All right. Does 11 hit?
11 is a miss, unfortunately. You swing and it goes directly just a couple centimeters away from where it would have hit.
Dang. All right. I guess I'll just stay there.
All right, Bug, you are up next. What do you do?
Okay, I'm gonna go up to this one here and there you go. And try to hit it with my hammer. Just do a classic like yep and run. Okay. Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage for me,
Okay.
please.
6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, so, Bug, you take a swing at it, and it's very clear that, yes, these things are able to be hit with warhammers, stabbed, but what you do notice is that as you hit it, it kind of, your hammer kind of like passes through it, And while you can tell that it feels some sort of whatever the equivalent is of pain in the realm of the afterlife, it's not quite as effective as it would have been had it been, present here, physical present here, in this world. So basically what I'm getting at is it doesn't look like it does quite as much damage as you would have hoped, but it still does some damage.
Could I do an Arcana check
Absolutely.
to see if I know of any way to because I don't have any magical weapons.
Sure.
Just to see if there's a way to. Okay, that is an 8.
Yeah, an 8. Yeah. You don't. Yeah. I'm gonna say no. There's no particular method or anything that comes to mind to you right now. The only thing that you're able to discern is that, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, these are ghosts. Certain damage is not going to affect it as effectively, so you might. I mean, you can still use that damage if you want, because it's clearly having an effect. But there might be something else out there that might be more effective. But at the end of the day, you're still doing damage, so who knows?
Cool. I'm gonna take my second attack then.
Amazing.
13 to hit.
That is a hit.
13 damage.
Amazing. Same thing. You, it is a clear hit. It is clearly hurt, but not quite as much as you had thought. So that's where we are. Okay. Anything else, Bug?
Nope, nothing else. He's just getting frustrated because it isn't as satisfying to hit something that kind of it goes through it a little bit.
Absolutely.
So he's sort of ah.
And in fact, the one that's directly in front of you, Bug, is kind of, upset at your multiple attempts to attack it. So it is going to try to hit you in return. I need everyone. I need Tim, Josh, and Bug to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
9.
A 7, and I have +5.
Tim with the nat 20.
Oh, nice. Okay, let me read this really quickly to make sure that I do this correctly. Okay. Give me the rolls one more time, please. I'm so sorry. Tim got a 20, or nat 20.
Josh got a 9.
I got a 7.
Okay. I need Bug and Josh. You hear this wail come from this creature. This pain that it has been bottling up for who knows how long. This to say that it is an ear-piercing wail is such an understatement. You feel it in your very soul, this pain. You both instantly drop to 0 HP.
Okay, well I have the I forget what it's called, the quality where I go to 1 instead of 0.
Beautiful.
Relentless endurance, right?
Beautiful.
So yeah, so I'm still up.
Okay,
but
amazing.
Woof.
I don't have that.
That is going to be that creature's turn. Next up is this one back here. She's going to come up here to Tim, and she is going to let's see.
You just hate Josh. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm a little bored with Josh, actually. Yeah. So, she lifts up her hand and tries to reach forward to grasp at you, Tim. How about a 23 to hit?
That'll hit.
Okay, dealing 13 points of damage to you, specifically necrotic damage. That is going to be the end of her turn. Next up is this creature here. It is going to try to attack you, Josh, for 23, which is a hit, dealing, well, it's damage. So that's, is that an automatic death fail?
If it's a melee attack, it's 2 death throw saving failures.
Okay. Okay, so Josh, you're at 2 death saves. Okay. All right. Okay, team.
I'm having deja vu.
Yeah, this is not great. Okay.
Wait, so what does that mean? I am. You said I'm at 2, meaning.
So when it's your turn next, at the start of your turn, you have to roll a die, and if it's above 10, it's a success. If it's below 10, it's a failure. If you get one more failure, Josh is dead.
Okay, so you're saying I had 2 fails.
Yes, as a result of being hit by this melee attack. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Auntie, you're up. What do you do?
Okay, who's down now? Josh is down.
Yes.
Bug is at 1.
Bug is at 1.
And Tim, you just took that one little bit of damage.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 13. Is that a little bit?
Oh, we're so totally fucked. Okay.
I knew we shouldn't go in the room.
There was a big creepy room. How can it not
I
go
could
in?
do something to maybe. I could do something to maybe save somebody, but.
I mean,
But Bug is
like,
my-
you can save
Bug is my
Josh.
old character's bestie, but Josh. Auntie loves Josh. Oh,
Auntie doesn't
fuck.
give a shit about
Yeah.
Bug. Auntie does not care about Bug.
Auntie
But if I s-
loves Josh.
But if I save Josh and then he still just like rolls a death save failure on the next one, then he's dead.
Wait, but if
Well,
you like save
what
me,
can
then I
you
wouldn't have to roll, right?
I don't know if I can physically get you away from here is all that I can do. So you'd
Oh, you
still
don't
have
have,
to
like,
roll
a
a death
healing?
save. I have healing, but then you're just gonna go right back down like by your next turn. You won't even be able to like move away from this ghost without taking like an op attack. Shit. Okay.
Does he not get like a action on his next turn to get away? Like,
Well, I can heal myself more
And you can disengage.
if I'm
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
down.
They just took us down to 0 in like one thing.
I mean,
Fuck.
but this might be a runaway situation. Like,
This, I think it's a runaway situation. Who can I run away with? Fuck. I'm gonna turn to Tim, say, "We're fucked. Help Josh if you can." I'm gonna bonus action shift, which increases my movement to 40. I will run forward until I am right behind Bug, touch Bug, and cast Thunderstep. So he and I will both teleport 90 feet away into the hallway, like fully out of the room if
Amazing.
possible.
Josh may be unconscious, but he knows what you did.
Someone picked favorites.
I gotta get some people out of here who can still do stuff.
Auntie's survival instincts went above her like fondness for Josh.
Wow.
You don't live
F
to
you,
be my
Auntie.
age. Like, I work with the dead and necromancy so much, I know how fucked we are right now. Like, oh shit. Okay, so I gotta roll 3d10. They gotta roll a DC 16 con save to have the damage.
Okay.
Which
So
I
I'm sorry.
suspect they are resistant to anyway.
I have to roll. I'm sorry. What is it? Con? You said.
Yes, DC 16 con save or take 21 thunder damage for that one who is in front of Bug and that one
Okay.
who's in front of Josh, because they're both within. Oh no, wait, the one in front of Josh I think is not within 10 feet of where I was. He's 15. So just the one who was behind Bug.
By Bug. Okay, so let's go. Oh boy, how about a 3? Okay.
Does not succeed. Full damage is 21. Do I feel like he takes the full damage?
You do not. It looks like she
Fuck.
feels this bit of pain, but it looks like it's not quite as effective as you wanted. She takes some damage, but not quite as much as you thought she would take.
Yeah. So you see Auntie just like do her full like disgusting like getting taller, back cracking, legs cracking, like, and then just rockets forward, touches Bug. There's a moment of looking back at Josh's body on the ground and tear coming down from my eye, and then we out of the room.
Amazing. Okay, is that it then, Auntie?
That's it.
Okay, Tim, what do you
We gotta
do?
get out of here.
I've got 2 ideas.
Come
One
on,
of them's a little
Tim.
more
Save
ridiculous than the other.
Josh.
We believe in you.
Okay, well, I'll go for the ridiculous idea. I'm going to.
Beautiful.
Well, I guess I'll first step away from this banshee if
Okay.
it wants to opportunity attack
Yes. How about a? So it reaches forward to try to grasp you again. Only an 8, so you're able to get away without issue.
me. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If I wanted to stuff Josh's body into my bag of holding, would that be a full action? Do we think?
You know, I think that's hilarious, and so I'm just gonna say no. It's not gonna be your full action. I'm gonna give it to you because that's hilarious.
Okay, well, I'll try to very quickly pull out my bag of holding and roll Josh's body into it.
Yes,
And I'm
yes,
going to-
yes, 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 yes,
I'm
yes.
going to
My
dash
fucking
away.
like 6'7" body or whatever.
I mean, yeah.
And it says breathing creatures have 10 minutes of air, so
Perfect.
as long as we get you out there quick enough.
Do you have healing word?
3, 4, 5. I was figuring that would be my bonus action, and then I'm going to use my actual action to dash.
Perfect. Okay. All right.
And that would be my turn.
Okay. Okay. So no healing word.
No.
Okay. Does
Josh might
Wait,
die in
hold
your
on.
bag.
Yeah, DM, were you saying that stuffing Josh in the bag is a bonus action, or is it object interaction?
You know what? Can we go back? Because I realized maybe this is metagaming on the round order too much, but if Josh acts next, I think it would be okay then. So you know what? Instead of doing the ridiculousness, I'm just going to do a regular heal,
Okay.
and then Josh will be awake to act next turn. And
okay.
then
Okay.
maybe Josh will want to jump into the bag of holding on their own, but that'll be their decision.
Yeah, can you end your turn just like holding the bag open?
And then you're
That,
gonna
that,
heal
that's
me?
the object interaction.
Is that what's happening? Am I being healed? Please.
Yes,
I
I will
think
give you a 3rd level heal.
Amazing. Tim, why don't you narrate to me narrate for me exactly what it is that you do. You almost stuff Josh's body into the bag, and then you decide, you know what? Not yet.
Nah.
Not yet.
No,
Why don't you
I,
describe to me what you do?
It's the Gond is the god of crafting and healing, so I think I'm pulling out like essentially a first aid kit, and I'm applying little bits, but you can see as I'm doing it, bits of radiant ethereal energy flow into it as part of the process, and
Amazing.
sort of like the classic like bandaged up like a mummy. And Josh is just sort of like, but they are awake as they have gained 14 hit points.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Yay.
Amazing.
So
Okay. Y'all, this is too much. This is too much. Okay. Josh, we're back to you. What do? You're awake. You see this. You had a dream about being stuffed into a bag or something, but you're awake now, and you see this ghostly creature standing above or floating above you. What is it that you do?
So, am I supposed to like get in that bag?
You can, though I think we could both just run away, hopefully. I don't know, it's hard to tell.
Okay, Slay. I'm gonna heal myself. More. Because I'm so scared.
Y'all, I'm scared too. This was.
It's like we're dominating or we're dead. There's no middle ground. Like every time it's a life or death scenario, it comes out of nowhere like that.
Okay, I'm back to 26.
Amazing. Okay.
So I probably shouldn't attack them, is what we're saying.
If you use your action to dash, you can move double your movement to get out of the room.
Can
and
anyone
you-
do that?
Yeah. Rogues can do it as a bonus action, which is why it's better for them because they can like do it without using their whole action. But yeah, everybody can use an action to dash, and you are now healed up to the point where you probably won't go back down from him getting an opportunity attack. Because the alternative is you could take a disengage so that he doesn't get an opportunity attack, but then you would only get your movement, and that feels like they're just gonna come get you again. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of metagaming. I'll chill. I'm just very stressed right now.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I want everyone to live too. So, but I'm not going to hold back, is what I'm getting at. So, as choose wisely.
Okay, I guess I'm dashing.
Okay.
15, 20, 25, 30. You said it's twice?
Yes.
So you could go up to 60 total if your normal movement is 30.
You would be able to
That's what I was
make
trying
it
to
out
check.
of the room. You would be able to make it out of the room if you used all 60 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to double check if it was 25 or 30.
Cool. Okay. So you've made it out of the room. Let me go ahead and so before you make that full movement, the Banshee attempts to attack you as you turn around for a 10. I don't think that's a hit.
That does not.
Perfect. Yeah. So you're able to make your way. You turn around, Josh, and you start booking it out of the room, and you make your way outside of the room where you find Bug and Auntie outside. So I'm assuming that's the end of your turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. Bug, you are outside of the room. What, if anything, do you do if you want to do anything while you're outside of the room?
I'm gonna yell, sorry! I'm sorry. Not my place. Not our place to go. Apologies, lady. That's what I'm gonna do.
Amazing.
And then just continue running.
Perfect.
I suppose. Take my dash action, which I think would be 60. 60. So just keep running and like shouting
to
behind
run
me.
down the hallway. Amazing. All right, next up is this one up here. Sees Josh, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Going to attack you, Josh, reaching out for a 19 to hit.
Does not hit.
That,
Okay.
wait, Josh or Tim?
Tim, I'm sorry. Where did I say
Okay,
Josh?
I was like, I thought I was out
Yeah.
of the room.
Sorry.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to be its turn.
Josh isn't that smart.
This one back here is going to walk forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This one rears back and lets out another soul-piercing wail. Josh, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Tim.
Tim, why do I keep saying that? I'm sorry. Tim,
And I keep falling for it.
what? Tim, what'd you get?
I got a 22.
Yes!
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Let's go,
That was
Tim.
the only thing I was
Amazing.
thinking. I was like, well,
Motherfucking yeah.
if one of them can do that scream, that means all three of them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like a 2 ahead of
Okay,
ourselves.
You are the guy to be in the room, though. You have the highest AC and, whatever, but
The best con, I think, probably.
I think so.
All right, next up is this last one. She's just going to reach out and try to touch you for 23 to hit,
That will hit.
dealing just 6 points of necrotic damage. That was a really bad roll. Okay. Auntie, you are outside of the room. What, if anything, do you do from outside?
Would you argue that I can see Tim
Yes.
through the open door?
Yes, you absolutely can. Yeah.
Okay. Third level vortex warp. Creature can choose to fail it, and I can target anybody within 120 feet and then move them to another spot within 120 feet of me. So I'm gonna take Tim and then throw him 120 feet forward ahead of us down the hallway. And then object interaction, shut the door.
Amazing.
Who's got the keys right now?
Oh, a bug has the keys.
Okay, so Auntie,
We better go.
you vortex warp Tim directly in front of you. You shut the door as you see these 3 banshees just with complete poison in their ghostly eyes as they float their way towards you. And as they cross or attempt to cross the threshold, the doors close and it looks like a hand reaches through the door, but you can see that as the hand crosses the threshold, it dissipates into nothingness.
Ooh, you little shits. And 30 feet of movement down the hallway.
There we go. You make your way back into the hallway of the archives. What do you all do? Y'all, this is too much.
Can we take our break now?
Do we want to take a break? We've got about like another hour and 10 minutes left. Is that right? Yeah, because we're ending
Maybe
a little
just
bit
like
early.
a 5 minute.
Yeah.
5 more minutes?
Yeah, let's
a 5
do a
minute
quick
break?
Yeah, just
Let's-
like a quick bathroom. 10-hour break.
catch our breath, pray. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, team, we are going to be back in like 5 minutes. See you soon. All right, team. Okay, I think we are back. Okay. We came super close to a TPK. I did make that joke earlier in the session, and I regret it. And here we are. No TPK. You make it out of the room. The ghostly figures that were trying to follow you outside of the room were unable to do so. They were unable to cross the threshold. You find yourselves in the hallway outside, back in this massive section of the archives, where you think this other individual sorry, I'm trying to find his name.
Ellison?
Thank you. Ellison,
Ellison?
yes. Ellison, yes. Where Ellison, presumably, has traveled. What do you do as you're in the hallway?
I
Short rest. 'Cause think
I
Bug
don't
is
know
very
if we
injured.
like. I don't know if we check out any more rooms in the library. Maybe if we do, we're just a lot more cautious about it. Pointed glare at Bug.
I mean, if we feel like we have time for a short rest, I think that Bug would appreciate that. If not, I can use something. I
we'll
can use my second
do
wind
short
if that's.
Tim is adamant about a short rest.
Well, no, 'cause either I take a short rest or I have to use like every one of my spell slots to heal you. So
Yeah, no, I'm down for that. Okay, so Bug is winded all the way down the hallway, like wheezing, hands on knees, leaned over, and just kind of like, I think we're gonna I think I'm just gonna, and like kind of slumps against the wall, and instigates the short rest regardless of his.
Yeah, you
Okay,
take
feeling.
Bugs kind of lying on the ground. You all take it as a sign. I'm almost like, I mean, without even needing to communicate it, you all sit down in silence, and you take an hour-long, just kind of an hour-long rest to kind of regather your strength, thinking about what it is that just went down and how close you all came to death. So yeah, so everyone feel free to take your short rest.
spell slots back.
And after about an hour passes, again, your heart rates have kind of slowed a little bit more. You kind of settled in. You settle into the eerie, almost deafening silence that you hear in this vast chamber of
Eerie.
books
Now
and
that's a name I
shelves.
haven't heard in a while.
So what do you do? Oh. Cutie.
I would like to roll investigation on the kitty cat.
I think the kitty cat's already rolling investigation on you.
How many? Can I just? I'm trying to get like a framework of like. We were all the way over in like the northeast corner at the first place that we left because it was like because of that like explosion thingy that went off, and then we stopped at like a room on the way back to the entrance. Are there? I'm trying to get like a feel for like how relatively close we are to the entrance and also how close we are to like other spots on the map that were marked with the keys.
So you did not. Okay, so yeah, let's clarify. So you're in like the northeastern part of the map. You approached this spot that there was like only for archivists with a special allowance to enter. It basically, like, for lack of a better term or analogy, it basically like unlocked another part of the map. So you're moving further northeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're moving further away from the entrance.
Cool. And
we did not get any info from that last room that we almost died in.
Unfortunately not. Yeah, you recall that there was
Okay.
that hole in the wall on the far end of the wall. There was that soot in the center of the ground. You weren't able to obtain any additional information from that room. You see that there are several other rooms and hallways and pathways that you can take in the rest of the archives, in this section of the archives, though.
With the map, would we be able to find a different way of accessing the space that hole in the room would have led to? Like, did that go into like a sealed off room with no other entrances basically? Or like, could we do like a roundabout thing to like get to that same place?
You take a look at the map, and as best that you can discern from that, and from what you saw in the room, no, it does not look like there are any other ways to get to that section of the archives that you didn't enter. It looked like it was a hole in the wall that to make it to somewhere you don't know where it was. It's obviously not going to be marked on the map because it was damaged. Damaged the wall, so you have no idea where it goes as a result.
Copy. Probably a bad idea to just go back to that room and then try and sprint through, right?
Please no.
Yeah.
No, God.
I could just one at a time take us to the entrance on one side, thunder step across to the other side, take a short rest and get that spell slot back, and then come back to the other side.
Please no.
Are you allowed to do that infinitely? I don't know if it works like that.
No, I don't think I can. I think I can only recover spell slots once during short rest anyways.
The scream is still echoing in Bug's head, and he just stares into Auntie's eyes and goes, "Don't even say that to me."
Yes, well, yes. Well, Tim, Josh, Bug, what do you think? A lot more of this library to be explored, but if the rest of it is half as deadly as this one, we might be in for a rough time.
I'm ready.
I think that maybe we could use our energies elsewhere. We don't even know that this guy is still in the library. So,
I thought you liked books.
what could have possibly given you the impression that I like books?
You have glasses.
That's actually really funny because I was actually, when looking at the map earlier, gonna say that Bug pulled out a tiny pair of reading glasses. So I'm gonna, if possible, say that he did do that. But that he's embarrassed about them. So when Josh says that, he like sort of like goes, "What?" And just is like kind of speechless and doesn't know what to say because they
Aw.
noticed his reading glasses.
Poor Bug.
That's what I
If that
thought.
guy stole a pair of keys, that means there's probably something important in the archives. We need to follow through and see what they were doing.
Hell yeah.
Fine.
Well, as you all regain your composure and decide to continue along the archives, you go further down this hallway, deeper into this section. You see that there are additional rooms in this hallway, none of which I think that like capture your interest. That is until you eventually reach another room down this hallway that's approximately 30 feet deep and about half as wide. You can see that its walls are lined with shelves that are laden with books and miscellaneous objects. You can see that at the far end of the room, there is a silver chest that rests on a wooden table. A second similar hole has been blasted into the right wall. This is a hole that's similar to the one that you saw at the in the last room. What's interesting about this hole, however, is that you can hear the sound of running water on the other side of the hole. On the blackened and charred floor around the second hole, as you peer in from the doorway, you can see that there are the remains of a horn, shattered and destroyed nearly beyond recognition. What do you do?
Well, nearly beyond recognition isn't totally beyond recognition. What can I roll to see what's like what kind of horn this is?
Give me your pick. History or Arcana.
Well, I'll just go ahead and take my +7 to Arcana
I figured as
and
much.
roll another 4. So that is 11. Both times I have rolled Arcana, I have rolled a 4.
Wow.
I'll do history if I can.
Okay, good. Give me a history roll. Yeah, Auntie.
And I got a 5.
Y'all.
Oh. Okay, well, Josh obviously needs to come to the rescue.
Yeah.
What did you get?
A 5.
A 5?
I think that Bug is gonna give it his best
Give it
shot.
to
Hey,
me,
Bud,
Bug.
come take a look at this horn.
Let's
I
go,
got
Bug.
13 on
A what?
Arcana. 13 on Arcana.
Okay, so the way I envision this happening is, Auntie, you go up and you're like super confident. You walk up and you put your hand over this destroyed horn and you're like ready to go. Like, just give me a second and I'll tell you what it is. And then like out of your hand, this like little poof of smoke and like nothing, you gain no knowledge. You kind of like, your eyes kind of like move back and forth without your body moving at all because you're so embarrassed, it seems like. But everyone understands that, like, yeah, you screwed up. So Tim walks forward, tries to take a look at it, absolutely has no idea what's going on. Josh, nothing. Bug, your glasses have betrayed you. They do not provide you any additional insight to this
Josh
thing.
just walks up there because he sees everyone else walking over, and then he pretends to do something, but he doesn't really know why everyone's walking over there.
Yeah, so that's the
Well,
horn.
What I can do if we're gonna be in the room for a minute, this is less helpful because it won't really tell us anything about like the species, but I could ritual cast Identify, and if it's a magic item or some other magic imbued object, I learn its properties and how to use them and whether it requires attunement and some other like mechanical stuff.
Okay, cool. That's a 10-minute cast, right? Okay. So for those 10 minutes, what are the other 3 of you doing, if anything?
Everybody get out of my way, you're distracting me, I need to concentrate. Salt.
Can I don't really have a light source. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna. I think I'm gonna just look at the. Sorry, so I got confused about the layout of this. So the
Yes.
horn is like laying on top of the blackened spot, or
No. So on top. Okay, so there's a blackened spot on the ground. Over the blackened spot is this kind of like pedestal. Upon the pedestal sits a silver chest. The horn is on the ground next to the pedestal.
okay.
On the left and right sides of you are shelves of books.
Wasn't there a black spot in the scary banshee room?
Yes. And then on the far wall, on the complete other side, behind the pedestal, is this hole in the wall where you hear rushing water. So it's a very, very narrow hallway, room, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Josh
Can I
is
look
called
at
to the water. Go ahead, Bug.
Can I take a look at the books in this room to see if they're any special, different thing from what we've seen?
Yeah, give me a like a perception check to see what you discern.
That's a 4.
Yeah, these are you take a close look at some of the books. You take your glasses, you kind of like adjust them, very scholarly, to take a look at some of these books, and in your mind you realize, yep, those are words on those spines.
We were all extremely rattled by recent events. Thank you.
Yeah.
Josh wanders over to the sound of the water.
Cool. Yeah, give me a perception check as you approach.
Seven.
Okay. With a 7, the only thing that you're able to discern is that as you approach, you smell this foul stench on the other side of this wall.
And that's where the water is?
Yes.
But there's no, like, door to get over there?
I mean, it's like, it's complete darkness. It's complete black. You don't know it. You don't know if there's like a door or anything. As far as
Can
you
I
can
feel
tell,
around?
Yeah. Okay, so you walk through the hole. It doesn't look like there's any door or anything. It looks like it's a hole blasted into the wall. You start feeling around, and you can feel that the walls are very rough. It feels like stone. It feels like it's not been. This is very clearly not an excavated pathway. This was an explosion in the wall that led you to, or that created this hole. And as you continue along, the sound of rushing water begins to grow louder. The stench begins to grow louder. And eventually, Josh, you find yourself on the opposite side of this hole in a different wall, also kind of like exploded through. You see that there is it looks to you like you have entered a sewer, basically.
Ew. And does it, like, can I see if it, like, leads?
Yeah, you can see.
Where?
Yeah, you see that one direction, probably. I mean, to your left, let's say. It leads. Yeah. It kind of like opens up into a larger space. So the sound of water kind of like fills the air as you enter this room. It opens into a large 60-foot wide circular chamber. Water is cascading down a steep spillway on the far side of the chamber into a pool in the middle of the room that you enter.
Ooh.
You can see that there's a stairway that runs alongside the spillway, and you see daylight on the other side of that stairway.
Okay, I would like to go back and report this to the crew. Auntie, there's a pool!
Don't talk to me. I'm concentrating. And the cantarums.
Damn, there's a pool!
Okay, Auntie. Fortunately, Josh interrupted you, disrupted your ritual casting right at the tail end, so you're able to get the spell off.
Oh, good.
Okay.
You, after concentrating on this horn, you are able to determine that this is a horn of blasting. It is destroyed beyond repair. And what occurs to you, you know that this horn of blasting, you understand that it creates this kind of like sonic magical boom blast that causes destruction in its wake. And so you're able to determine that this is likely what caused the explosion in the archives, that caused these shelves to fall. And it was you know that at least it seems to you that this horn of blasting, at the very least, had expended all of its uses and was completely and utterly destroyed after its usage.
Do I
I have a question that is tied to something I'm reading in the item's description on Beyond, but if you only want me to go off of what you just said, I'm gonna chill on it.
No, go for it. You know that it's Horn of Blasting. Yeah.
Yeah, so each use of the horn's magic has a 20% chance of causing the horn to explode. That's clearly what happened here. It says the explosion deals 10d6 fire damage to the blower and destroys the horn. We didn't see any kind of like body or immolated remains or anything like near where the horn was.
You see no body, but you do see blood on the ground. Leading into the hole in the wall.
I think I would just get a slightly like not scared, but a lot more cautious expression on my face, and I would look at everyone else. I would explain what the horn was, and then I would say, whoever was using this was capable of shaking off a tremendous amount of magical backlash from the use of the horn and could still walk away from here afterwards. So I think we all need to be very cautious as we move forward.
So did you
And you
hear
said
what I
there
said
was
there's a pool?
I said, what now?
We'll get to the pool in a
Did
moment.
you hear when I
there's
said
also
there was a pool?
Josh, Tim had his hand raised. Tim?
There's also a silver chest, you said? Is it it's locked, presumably, or not?
It is. Yes, it is locked.
I thought you liked me, Auntie.
I do like you, sweetie. There's a lot going on right now.
Okay, but there's a pool, and like everyone was talking about a pool, so like I thought we were looking for a pool.
We're gonna get to the pool in just a minute.
Just gotta check all these keys real quick in the chest, make sure none of the keys work,
real
and then-
quick. Or you know what? I sense Josh getting a little impatient, so I could go ahead and take his hand and start marching. I'll maintain a slow pace so we don't get too far, but we could start heading back down that
Yeah,
dark
I would have
hallway.
done this during the 10-minute ritual or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all making our way into the hole in the wall. Is that? Am I understanding
Yes.
correctly?
What?
I guess, am I able to unlock the chest with any of the Archivist keys?
So they are.
Not the right type of key?
Yeah, yeah. They're not able to unlock the chest.
Okay, I'll leave it then.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay.
We don't
so-
want to. Can we fit that whole chest in your bag of holding?
Can we?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'll toss it in there. Deal with it later.
We're just stealing from the library. I love it. Well,
Well, it's clearly an important related artifact.
Of
we need to make
course.
use
It's
of it.
clearly an
Absolutely.
important related artifact.
It's
Absolutely.
the capital C clue.
Okay, so team, again, you make your way through the hole in the wall. The sound of rushing water begins to get louder. The stench is becoming more potent as you enter this other room. And again, you see exactly what Josh had described. You see there's this pool in the middle of the room, or further down. You see that there's a spillway on the far side of the chamber. There's a stairway that runs alongside the spillway that leads to the daylight that you see on the other side of the room. Everyone give me a perception check, please.
I got a 19.
Josh,
I
what
also
a
got 19.
22.
What did
There's
Bug
all
get?
our good rolls. Also a 19.
19, 22.
Yeah,
another
listen,
19.
we're all on high alert now.
I love it. That's great. That's amazing.
Oh, is it so great and amazing as we load into another map where different music starts?
You see two large undulating shapes move on the opposite side of the chamber near a section of the floor that is blackened and charred as if by an intense flame. And as you get a closer look, you can see, make sure I make it accessible to the viewers on the stream. Just a quick second. Okay, perfect. Now, what you all see, these undulating shapes moving on the opposite side of the chamber. You see that they appear to be insectoid in nature, none of which have noticed you yet. You can see that they are kind of bunched up together near this portion of the floor that is blackened and charred as if by an intense flame. You can see that it appears one of these creatures is wounded, and the three other creatures around it are trying to attack it. And you can actually see, as you take a closer look, there is a fifth insectoid creature, very clearly dead, that has been feasted upon by some of these creatures. None of them has noticed you yet. But you do notice that there is also a backpack on the floor right next to the four of those creatures. What do you do?
I have a question.
Yes.
So in this picture, it shows like the chute of water and then the circle one. Can you get to that circle one by swimming through the chute? Like under the floor? Like, are those water connected?
Yes. You're right. Yep.
Don't go swim in the sewer.
I would like to attempt to sneakily swim underwater, because they can breathe underwater, and try and like lean over and grab the bag.
Okay.
Without them noticing.
All right. Okay, so,
if that's possible.
yeah, Josh, you jump into the water. And
Okay, I don't know if I would jump.
Okay, what do you do? Describe to me what you do.
I would say very slyly dip into the water and
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
immerse myself. Okay, so it didn't matter how I go in there.
Yeah.
You're swimming in a sewer, bud.
18.
18? Okay, yeah, you are overtaken by this awful stench, and if you are going to put your head under the water, you best make it happen quickly, because if you don't, something bad's going to happen. But you get into the water, you're fine for now. What do you do?
Okay, I'll continue with what I'm trying to do.
Okay, so you're trying to go ahead, narrate. Yeah.
Swim forward while I'm under the water, and then like, I don't know how to ping, but over there at the edge where the
Grab the
yes, there,
grab it.
right
Okay.
at the edge of the pool by the bag.
All
Kind of
right.
like stick my head out and see if they're looking over at me.
They're not looking, but they are right next to you. I would like for you to give me a dexterity check to see if you are able to grab the bag without any of them noticing. Or actually, give me a sleight of hand. That would make more sense.
Okay.
You got it, Josh.
13.
13.
How perceptive these bugs?
Okay, Josh, you take your hand out of the water. You reach over to the backpack, and you've got it in your grasp. You pull it back, and you've got it. You've got it. You've pulled it to the edge of the pool. You start turning around, and one of the bugs hits the bag after it has been thrown by one of the larger bugs into the bag. The two other large bugs look in your direction. They see a tasty-looking hand emerging out of the water. I'm gonna need everyone to roll initiative, please.
No! So close.
That was so cool, though.
So cool. Such a good idea. Okay, go ahead and roll initiative, please.
What would I have needed to successfully do that?
It was a 15, I think.
Ah. I feel like if it hadn't been sleight of hand and it was just a dex, then I could have done it.
I'm so sorry.
So it's your fault.
I'm so sorry. Okay, give me a quick second, team. Okay. Cool. I think we are good to go. Okay, so Josh, you start taking your hand away, and one of the big bugs. Oh, here, let's put you where.
Oh,
were.
what happened to the bag?
The bag is still there. It's,
Like in my hand? Or...
It's still in your hand. It's still in your hand.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I'm assuming you're right there. So this creature is going to go first. It sees you and it immediately goes towards you to try to attack you. You can see that it lashes out with this disgusting looking tentacle as it lashes out against you for an 11 to hit.
No.
Okay, that is a miss. And it reaches out with a second tentacle to attack you for a critical hit.
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding you, unfortunately. Let's see. It reaches out its tentacle, and it latches itself to your arm as you are grabbing on to the bag. It deals 7 points of damage to you, and a third tentacle lashes out for an 18 to hit.
That does hit.
That does hit, dealing another 5 points of damage. That is its turn. Next up is this one right here. It is going to step forward and attack the smaller one that is next to you. It attacks for a 19, which I bet is going to be a hit. Sorry.
Yes.
Not you. It attacks the smaller.
I forgot
creature.
they're against each other.
Yeah. That is a hit, dealing 3 points of damage. Okay, perfect. That is, let me double check. Okay, and then it's going to lunge forward. You can see that its mouth kind of like, or its jaws open wide as it snaps against this smaller creature for a 9. That's going to be a miss. That is now going to be the end of its turn. Okay, Tim, you hear Josh kind of let out a yelp as he emerges from the water down the hallway, or down the spillway there. What do you do in response to hearing that?
I think I'm gonna walk up first at least.
Okay, cool.
And you know what? I'll just attack. Might as well. No need to make it too complicated.
Perfect.
I'm going to shoot a guiding bolt at the small one that had attacked Josh.
That attacked Josh. Okay, go for it.
For 21.
Absolutely, that's a hit. Roll me damage.
Or 14 damage.
Amazing. This bolt, direct hit. And you can see actually this creature kind of lets out this yelp of pain, and the tentacle is no longer attached to Josh as it lets go and lets out this cry of pain. I'm sorry, how many? 14 points? Cool. All right, anything else, Josh?
Tim.
Tim, why do I keep doing that? I'm sorry. Your names are on the bottom of the screen. I can literally read them.
No, but that was all.
Okay, perfect. Next up is Josh. What do you do in response? You've got the bag in your hand still. The thing is let go of you. What do you do?
Would it be an action to put the bag on?
I'd say probably. I would say no. I would say it's. I mean, no, not an action, not a bonus action. You're just kind of like whipping it around to put it on.
Yeah. So it's not in my hand.
Yes.
But okay. I will go for the tiny one with my dagger.
Perfect.
Uh, 12. to hit?
It is a miss, unfortunately. You're just kind of like overtaken by this mass of tentacles near you. This other massive tentacles that has attacked the smaller one. Your dagger goes into the stone next to you.
Okay. My dagger is failing me today.
You gotta get out of that water before something nasty happens.
Yeah. I think that's all I can do attack-wise though, so I am gonna get out over here.
Okay.
Is he gonna attack me?
The small one, yes. Sorry. Okay, it lashes out with its one of its tentacles for a 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, dealing 7 points of damage. Anything else?
That's all.
Perfect. Okay. Auntie, what do? You also hear this scream and this commotion up front. What do you do?
So first thing, bonus action shift, get my 6 temp HP, plus 10 to my movement. What kind of check would it be to get across the water to that other side?
You're trying
like
to jump to the
over
right.
to the side that like Tim was on. Yeah, I'm just trying to cross over to like the right side of the entrance.
Just like, I mean, it's just a regular jump, right? I don't remember what the rules
Okay.
for jump are.
I don't know. I have not had to do a lot of jumping in D&D,
Yeah,
so I know there's a
let's
whole calculator, but I don't actually know like how that works.
I don't know, if it's only one square, I think you can just say it's difficult terrain.
Yeah, because I think it's only if it's like a high jump. If you're trying to move like super far, then there's like a whole formula to it. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that idea. We'll just call it difficult terrain or something.
So yeah, then 10 feet to move 1 square to the right,
Perfect.
and then another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So
like 20
Wow.
feet, like here-ish.
I could
You're cutting out.
You
a little
cut
bit.
out.
You're sorry, we can't hear you.
get to like,
I think your hand was
hear
covering
us?
the mic.
and then do. Cool. Is there a spot where I can put a 20-foot radius circle that includes the bugs and does not include Josh?
Okay, let's take a look. Circle 20. 20-ish.
20-foot diameter or 20-foot radius?
Radius.
Oh, radius? Oh my god.
It's
Well,
it's,
yeah, that was it, I think.
Okay. Yeah, is there just like a way I can center it further to the left so that just like the edge of it is like
there.
yeah, like right there, so that it's not getting Josh, but it's getting all the bugs.
Yep. Perfect.
Oh, but some of the bugs like us.
I don't know if they
Some of
like
the bugs
you.
are hungry and will eat anything in front of them. So yeah, Auntie shifts, does her horrifying crackle, sprints forward, and then once she's in range to see what's going on, is looking at these bugs and just says, "I don't have time for this," and I cast Fireball.
Wow. Okay.
So that's a DC 16 dexterity save.
Cool. All right.
And that is, ooh, a lot of 6s. That is 33 damage to anybody who doesn't make their save.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll start with the 2 small ones. First one on the left, dexterity. That is a miss. The one to the right. That's also a miss. The big guy to the left, this one here. That is also a miss. Okay, team. And the last one. That is another miss. Wow, okay, cool.
Yes, Auntie.
How much damage, I'm sorry?
33.
33. Okay. Why don't you explain to me how you take out the two small ones?
Oh yeah, I think in keeping with the necromantic theme and kind of the same as like when I cast Firebolt in the other fight, it's just this like this tiny little like mote of greenish burning fire streaks over, leaves like after images in people's vision, and then there's just like a whoop and an almost implosion as it erupts into this big fiery ball of like spinning green fire that you can see these kind of shrieking undead faces twisting within. And one of those faces for each of the small bugs just like goes down and almost just like gobbles it up, just like, and they are no more. There's just a little burn spot on the ground where the bug was, and like several other smaller of like the undead faces are gathered around the two big bugs, just like biting at them, but obviously not like eliminating them.
Beautiful. A couple of you raise your arms to shield your eyes from the massive display of light that appears before you. You feel the intense heat that kind of surrounds you, and as you take a closer look, you do see the charred corpses of two of those bugs, and you see the charred but still moving bodies of these two much larger insectoid creatures, still intact, still moving. Anything else, Santi?
That's it for me. Bonus action, movement, action.
All right. Next up is this one here. It is going to... Let's see. I'm just going to try to move your way, Josh. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It lashes out at you, Josh, with its tentacle for a 23 to hit.
That does hit.
For just 3 points of damage. And then it lunges forward towards you with its jaws biting at you for an 11 to hit, which is probably a miss.
That is a miss.
That is the end of its turn. Bug, you are up. What do you do?
Okay. So before I start, I have a question.
Yes.
Is there anything around on the floors? Any like debris or like big rocks at all?
Yeah, you can see a couple of like large stones on the ground that have kind of fallen from the ceiling above. You can see that it's been damaged. The ceiling has been damaged somewhat by whatever explosion created the entryway to this sewer. Yeah.
Okay. And then follow up, what are your rules on throwing as an object interaction in combat?
I would say that would be an action. Picking it up and throwing it. Yeah.
Okay, picking it up and throwing it. Okay. Cool. Then I'm gonna grab as big a rock as I can easily carry, and go forward here and then try to throw it, try to ping like over to the left. I can't ping it. But over to the left by this pool, sort of on the opposite side to everyone else, as a distraction.
Beautiful.
Do you think I could get it that far?
Let's see. I think it would be. I think it's as far as your strength modifier. No, that doesn't make sense. I'll say, how far are you away from it? Whoops, 30 feet. I'll say, yeah. I mean, I'd say an individual with your size is able to throw a large rock 30-ish feet. So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go for it.
So basically, I'm just gonna try to. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. So just sort of
Perfect.
like about there, as far as I can, away from us, and then I still have a little bit of movement. So I'm just gonna then run away from where I threw the rock. But
Amazing.
basically, just try to make a big like clattering sound over on that right side.
Amazing. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then you try to run away a little bit? Perfect. Yeah, you start making your way,
Yeah.
jump across the water.
Jump
You
across,
land on the other
and I
side.
think-
You meet
yeah,
with
that's about how far I can
Auntie.
get.
Perfect. Okay, back to the top of the round. We start with, I think it's this one. I think this is the first one. Okay.
No, that's the one that moved most recently.
Is that the one that went? Okay, yeah. For some reason, it is not center. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, it's an optical illusion on my screen. That's why I was not able to discern it. Okay, this is the first one. You're right. Thank you. Okay, I think this one here, the one that's closer to the rock. Here's the rock. Sees that this insectoid creature is engaged in this fight with Josh. It looks like this creature is able to get a couple of hits on Josh, and this one is seemingly trying to give up on Josh at this point because clearly the other one is the bigger of the two, more aggressive, the one that it's won that kill, that prey that is Josh. So this one's going to disengage. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Starts slithering its way over to the rock to look and see what's over there. Sees nothing over there. Looks around, sees you, Bug, running away. So it's not able to do anything. It doesn't do anything on its turn to damage Josh, but it looks like it's getting ready to make its way your way. 5, 10, 15, 20. Make sure I see what the speed is. Yep. 25, 30. You see part of its body is entering the water, like the midpoint of its body has entered the water as as its head is above it and kind of like towering above you, Bug, getting ready to strike on its next turn. Tim, what do you do as you see this bug approaching? Well, both bugs. These bugs approaching you.
Bugs. I think Bug will handle their bug, and I'm going to go back up Josh. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to bonus action cast Searing Smite as my mace lights up in holy fire. I'm going to attack.
Amazing.
For a 24 to hit.
Absolutely. Direct hit.
So I do 6 regular mace damage,
Okay.
5 fire damage as the bug lights up in fire, and it will have to make a Constitution saving throw on its turn, or use its action to put itself out.
Awesome. Okay,
Oh,
please remind
you know what?
me. Yeah, go for it. Yep.
As well as I've not used this before because it really comes up. But
Oh,
I have
boy.
the Crusher feat, which allows me to move enemies that I hit with my enemies. Let me just pull this up because I've never actually used this before.
Awesome.
Once per turn, when I hit a creature with bludgeoning damage, I can move it 5 feet to an unoccupied space, provided it is no more than 1 size larger than me.
Perfect.
So this is 1 size larger than me, correct?
Yes.
So I'm going to push it 5 feet backwards.
Backwards. Cool. Yeah, okay. So what I'm envisioning happens is this creature is engaged in this fight with Josh, and you see that it rears back and it lunges forward again with its jaws just opening wide, getting ready to bite Josh. Tim, you run forward. As its jaws are open, you swing with this holy weapon directly into the roof of the mouth of this creature. Its head kind of jerks back as it kind of stumbles its way essentially backwards. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Awesome. Okay, Josh, you are now up. What do you do?
I would like to cast Thunderclap on the one in front of me.
Okay.
And that's, there we go. So we're not in there. So, a burst of thunderous sound that can be heard up to 100 feet away. Each creature within range other than you must succeed on a con saving throw or take 1d6 thunder damage.
Okay, I rolled a 19.
So you pass.
Okay,
The
unfortunately.
DC 14.
Okay, so yeah, this
Right.
this you hear this loud cacophonous sound echoing across the stone walls of this chamber. Unfortunately, though, this creature is not affected by it. Anything else, Josh?
I am going to give Tim a bardic inspiration, and then that will be my turn.
Awesome. Okay, do you want to describe how you do that? What do you do to...
I like swing my lute around to the front. Tim, it always comes back to the magic. And then I give him a look, and I'm like,
Incredible performance in the middle of this deadly battle. Thank you. Auntie, you are now up. You hear this strumming from Josh in the air, and you know it's your time to strike. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to first cast a firebolt cantrip at the one to the north, closer to Josh and Tim.
Okay.
That is a 25 to hit.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be only 5 fire damage. I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Well, that's exactly what you needed to kill it, so why don't you describe to me what happened?
Hey! Well, I think it becomes a part of the thing I'm gonna do next, which is bonus action expeditious retreat, so that I can take a dash action and my movement. So it's almost like a roadrunner cloud of me is left behind as like the muscles in my weird digitigrade legs kind of tense, and then she just rockets forward, and as she's blasting her way forward, both of her hands come forth, and again that like ghostly fire just like blasts straight at the guy. And I'm gonna move 80 feet as far north as I can.
Wow.
Because my shifted movement gives me plus 10, and then the dash lets me move twice my movement. So that's 40 to 80.
Okay, so you're gonna try to move up the stairs from on the other side of the chamber?
Mhm.
Cool. Okay.
Mhm. I'm just booking it.
Yeah, yeah, you're totally able to do so. Yeah. Yeah, that's 65 feet. You make your...
Does that 80 feet moves off of the map?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm not gonna move off the map. I'm not
Okay.
gonna leave everybody behind. I just like wanted to get forward.
Okay, so 65 puts you at the top of the stairway. Do you want to stay there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, next up is Bug. What do you do?
Okay, how is the guy next to me looking? How is
He's-
this bug?
He's looking not great at all. Yeah, you see black ichor kind of seeping out of several wounds from where it's been hit.
Okay, I think these guys have are pretty fast. So I'm going to hit him with my hammer.
Beautiful.
Ooh, that is a 26 to hit.
Absolutely direct hit. Yeah.
And 10 damage.
Okay. So you swing You connect with the midsection of this thing, and you see it kind of like keels over. Its head turns towards you with what appears to be some sort of, just instinctual version of hatred towards you, but its mouth is kind of biting towards you, Bug, as you make that first attack. What next?
I'm gonna use a superiority die to do a feint action. And that's 24 to hit.
Absolutely.
And then on that one, I do just oh shoot. Okay, 15 damage.
How do you kill this last bug?
I just sort of as it pulls back and scrunches in on itself a little bit, I'm gonna sort of hit it from the top, so I get like, I'm not exactly sure the shape of these things, but like it's,
They're like,
I
yeah,
get as
long,
much of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I sort of like get like the head, and then I get like, and then I get like the body underneath the head, so I go through like, I go through it twice with my hammer. And it's just so much squish and crunch.
That thing is nasty.
Yeah. And then I sort of go, eh, right after I kill it.
Incredible. So this thing lets out this yelp of pain that echoes against the stone walls, and it crashes onto the ground as this pile of dust, this cloud of dust, poofs into the air. And with that, you have killed the rest of the bugs.
Well, we've still got one bug left.
And everyone clapped at that joke, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. You all gather your breath. Nothing but the sound of the flowing water of the sewer in your ears. What does everyone do afterwards?
I'd like to look in this bag that we got.
Yeah, do we have time to keep doing stuff?
Yeah. We'll take a look at what's in the bag, and then we'll go ahead and call it for the evening. But you after you regain your composure, your strength, you walk up to Josh, who is just like, Josh, how are you holding this bag? What are you doing with it?
Honestly, Josh probably forgot he had the bag on. So many things have happened since then, and he is very injured, so he probably is just like, oh, what do you want? Like, why are you coming over to me? Are you gonna help me? Do you have a BND?
Not on me. So, sorry. I was hoping to and I'm just gonna sort of like grab it off his shoulder.
You take the bag
whoa,
off.
Wait, hey.
You wrangle the bag off of Josh's shoulders, who now remembers that he's carrying this bag. Bug, you start taking a look inside. And inside the bag, you rifle around for a little bit. You find just a set of just regular, like, common clothing. You find 35 gold pieces inside. And you also find a collection of documents inside of the bag. The first of which is a piece of paper with what appears to be a list of book titles, most of which have been stricken through, but 3 have check marks next to them. Lords and Lineages, The Weave, A Practical Observation of Impractical Occurrences, and Ren of the Blade Memoirs, the 3 books that you were seeking to find. You find a rough map showing Flan and its surroundings. As you take a closer look at the map, you can see that the map details a location about half a day's ride east along the Flan path. And it's labeled with the word Rithnax, which has been circled. Bug, as you are looking over this map, I mean, you don't even need to think about it. It's very clear to you that the area that's indicated on the map is an area known as the Twilight Marsh. It's a large swamp east of Flan. And the last document you find in the backpack reads, whoop, okay, well, that's the wrong one.
Oh, don't.
It
He's dead.
reads, yeah, he's dead. He's very dead. He's been dead. You pull that out of your pocket on accident. You put it back in the backpack, and you see this note. It reads, Ellison, once you have secured what you can to aid us in our search, meet with Rithnax in the marsh east of the city, along the Flan path. Slay any that discover your work. Do not fail us again. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session, team. Amazing. So we will be back definitely next week on Saturday. We also have a makeup session that we have to do. I would love to stream it if we are able to schedule it on a day that we have no other leagues happening. We'll talk offline. If so, everyone who's on stream, just keep an eye out. Well, I mean, we'll pop up, and hopefully you'll catch us if you're interested in watching. But we will definitely be back next Saturday. And in the meantime, I hope everyone on stream has a great rest of your night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.